Ew. Just a quick recap and a lesson on this trading diary that I keep forgetting to update. Things are going well, profitable still. I haven't traded much for the month of November. The election sent me into a deep depression spiral for several weeks. Now I'm on antidepressants and Prozac. Also, I have an arm in a sling and a bunch of tequila, but don't worry about that. That's a different issue. I just wanted to point out one thing. First, the good. I'm in a couple of good positions. I managed to get into NXE right down here. Somewhere around here when the MACD crossed. Boom. And I've been trailing the stop. Thought maybe we were done for right here, but it's still rolling. And we're up a little bit pre, so who knows how long that'll go. Gold, I'm still waiting to take off. I got in here. Like the market went up, but gold didn't go along with it. So there's a bit of a delay. Though look at this pre-market. Of course, I don't know if that's just the spread or if that's actually what it is pre-market. But this one I liked. I just saw how it was consolidating with these tight little movements. It's not quite confirmed yet, but I took a risk. It's always, in my opinion, it's always worth it. I mean, I got a hammer candle at like 34 support. So it's like, put in a little, like if you're going to get a risk ratio from like this, like 1.5% down with a possible, up to 10, it's worth making the risk, even if it's not confirmed. Oh, got in here. I am in tremendous pain. I think I tore a shoulder muscle. Just having an arm hurts. Drip, I had a dumb idea. Saw this bouncing off the bottom of the channel. Again, I was like, well, if I can put it in my wrist, like right here, I can have, it's still worth it. Even though it's a losing trade, like 1% versus 24 to 1 risk ratio possibility. And it said, and I was getting some MACD cross. And it was like, nope. So I'm out of that. Here's the stuff that keeps getting me. Not even related to trading, related to execution and the platform. First, I was in real estate stuff, like down here, boom, MACD cross, either here or here, and I was in the profit for here. But then while it was down here, I wasn't worried, but I was trying to move my stop loss from here along this moving average, and even paying attention to the spread, somehow I managed to stop myself out. I exited my position like down here for a loss, and then of course it did that. I was just trying to move my stop loss. Is there not a way I can get confirmation before it exits? Like, hey, warning, you're about to move your stop loss order into a selling position. TradingView is so frustrating. So when I did that, I made my last available PDT trade. I had no trades left without getting flagged for a day trader, which means I can still trade, but I have to remove the safeties and not have stop losses. So I got in here, saw this happening, right? This, boom, it was just trying, and it couldn't get through this little support area. And I saw this MACD like, okay, it's coming back the other way. So I put in, like I measured out the stop loss, but I didn't have a stop loss because I couldn't sell out. Somewhere around like here. And then all this happened. Like if this was my 2% was my regular position size, I was looking at it at 7%, 3.5 times my normal stop out. And I couldn't get out until the end of the day, until the beginning of the next day. So I took a hit there just because I couldn't exit a position on a thing I shouldn't have been in the first place. It was just trying to fool the market. Then, because it was obvious that the market was turning around, right? It's like, boom, bottoming out, boom, bottoming out. So I tweeted out, buy anything, it's going to be a good week. So I was just off by one day, basically. Because I don't wake up when the market opens, like right now it's 5:30 in the morning, and I'm still awake. So I can try to stay up for another 4 hours, or I can just do what I always do and put in a limit buy. Right, like say I wanted this, I'd put in my limit buy for right here, and most stocks thrash around enough that they'll hit the previous day's close. Like look at this, it's like they'll thrash, they'll hit it, and usually I'll get filled. But on annoying shit like this, I saw this right here. So I put in a limit order to buy, woke up both of these. I found I hadn't entered either of them. Look at that shit. I would have made back all of my losses the next day. Probably would have put my stop loss down here, unfortunately. So I would have made 1.5, maybe 2 times my risk reward. Because of this, but this little gap right here never came back down. Same thing with Cuz. I even put this out on Twitter. Look at this perfect pattern. Whoop, little fish hook. That's what I look for. Put in a order right here to buy. Never touched it. Went up here. It's gone. It's out of my reach. And stuff like that happens to me all the time. I lose money and I miss opportunities not because of bad trades, but because I'm having so much trouble with the TradingView platform or trying to enter stuff. Like, I can't be awake at 9:30 in the morning. I'm hoping the 22-hour trading window that they're implementing keeps the same stuff, like same pattern, same volume. I don't want it to wreck the market so bad that none of my stuff works anymore. That would be horrible. But it allows me and other people to trade pre-market, post-market, so we don't have to worry about our stop losses getting gapped over after market hours. That'd be nice. And real quick, the lesson, whatever you want to call it, that I want to touch on. So I keep hearing even professional veteran traders and everyone else say that when they're having a bad day, bunch of losing trades, they'll size down or stop trading altogether, or they reach their max loss for the day and they have to go meditate or jerk off or whatever. To me, this doesn't make any sense. And I feel like I'm alone here. But think about it. So if you have a system and you know it has an edge, then you want to take every single trade that meets that system every time without changing how much more you're betting, changing the size of your position. And I wrote about this in my free book or whatever I wrote for Medium down in the link. You can read it. But let's say there's only 48 reds on a roulette wheel and 50 blacks, right? So your edge is to bet black. You have an edge. Bet black every single time, every single spin, and that's your edge. That's how you profit, because probability states that over a long enough time, you'll be successful. That's your edge. So these professional traders are saying, if I get too many reds in a row, I'm going to stop betting for a while, or I'm going to bet half the amount. That doesn't make any sense, because what if the next 5 rolls are black and you just missed out by lowering your amount bet or not betting? So you're eliminating your own edge. Like, the only way this makes sense is if there's some huge major news, like something that's throwing the rhythm and the flow of the market completely off. So you just want to step back until it fixes itself, because it's an anomaly that's not working. Your edge is gone because you don't know what this weird thing is. Or if you're so emotional or drunk or something that you're not following your system anymore. So you got too many free drinks and now you're betting on red for some reason. That would be a good time to walk away, because you've lost your edge. So wait until you get a clear head and come back to it. But it doesn't make any sense to change your system just because losses are happening, which should be part of your system. You should know that there's built-in losses. Just because you get 5 losses in a row doesn't change the fact that you still have a 55% edge over the long term. I mean, for all you know, it's going to be 5 reds followed by 5 blacks followed by 5 reds, 5 blacks. Like, that's going to be the pattern, and you're going to get max loss on all your reds and half wins on all your blacks, or not at all because you walked away. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it. Enough of a rant. I don't get it. Everyone says it. Same thing with, you need to clear your head, you need to take a walk, you need to meditate. Like, your mindset shouldn't even be a part of it. Maybe it's just my personal trading, because I'm not a day trader who's trading off of feel. Like, you have nothing to do with it. Does it qualify for an entry on your system or not? Your gut feeling should not play into that. Anyway, real quick, here's what I'm looking at for tomorrow. Also, I've switched. Let me see if I can find one. So I used to be a sucker for stuff like this. Like, I'd see these MACD crosses here and here. And it's like, yeah, there's room for profit, but barely. Why are you, like, I would see this and get all excited. Like, it's clearly on the downtrend, lower highs. And I'd try to, like, get the 1 or 2 candle. I don't know why. Those were, like, my kryptonite. So I switched it up lately to Fibonacci levels. Not because they're magic or anything, but because it... God, I can't believe I missed that. I was looking at this one, and then it did that. But, so like this, I'm watching for one more confirmation candle. It's not quite there yet. It's bouncing off the trend. But a fib level, what it does is it just makes sure that what you're looking at is in between all-time recent highs and higher lows. So it doesn't matter what level it's bouncing off of, but scanning for fib levels, sounds like I'm fib level is going to look at like this. It's going to follow this pattern. They're all going to be in uptrends. And so long as the bounce, the turnaround, is somewhere in between the high and the higher high and the higher low, the chance that it's going to go up profitable amounts is almost guaranteed. But tomorrow I am looking at Upwork, which has a beautiful fish hook, and just so happens to bounce perfectly off a 618 fib level right around here, which is not much support, but it closed the gap and bounced off a fib level. It's already up pre-market. And this one I'm excited about. Probably blew up in my face, but I just noticed that it kept bouncing off this trend. And like I said, it's a super profitable looking. So if I can get my stop loss like around here, like a 2, and it continues on its uptrend to like the higher channel, it'll be, let's say it returns to around recent highs. I can get an 11-to-1 payout. These are the ones I'm excited about. Everyone else sees friggin' masturbate or whatever. Oh, it's up to 9,000. Yeah, great. How am I supposed to make profit off of this? Because my stop loss is the ratio changes with the price. I can make more off of this move down here, a 4-to-1 return, than me over here going, where the hell? I guess like down here, but it has to go from 350 to 500 for me to get the same return. I don't know. People focus on the wrong things when it comes to trading. All right, my shoulder is splitting open and it's on fire. At the end of the month, I'll do my P&L. But like I said, I didn't trade much. I slept for a week in a coma of depression. I was on self-deletion watch at the VA. They had people checking on my well-being. It was rough. And it's been a circus ever since. So, I got Thanksgiving, which is going to cut into the normal flow of the market. We'll see if we can pull out any profit out of this month. Other than that, go fuck yourself.